Yeah.
So this next topic that you and I are going to discuss has probably had more discussion about how we should discuss it and what we
Then I
should
got
talk
this.
about than anything else that you and I have thought about talking about. So,
Yeah, it's more agreement and disagreements towards how to
yeah,
tackle
I mean, because
the issue.
this is the one topic that I've kind of had to drag you into
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because, like you say, that there's we just there's so much, and I just have kind of in a way, I don't know if bullied you is the right word, but
Dragged me was the word.
I've dragged you kicking and screaming into this
Yeah,
discussion.
yeah, yeah.
So to give listeners and watchers a kind of a scope about what this come about, I don't even remember the video you sent me. You
Mhm.
sent me a video on WhatsApp, didn't you? And I watched it, or did I send it to you? That's
I
how
don't know.
long ago it was, right?
Yeah. There was some video transaction happening somehow,
Yeah,
somewhere.
and this was it's all to do with the modern dating scene and
Yeah,
internet dating and dating on apps. And this is a far cry from the way that you and I grew up.
yeah,
And it moves into so many different topics, but we're going to try and just basically give advice from the point of view of two older men. I nearly said two old men. Decide which one you want category you want to put us into, people. But from
exactly.
two
Yeah.
men who dated before the internet.
And who have no understanding of the modern day dating. You
Yeah.
might have more than I do. I was in the dating scene more than 20 years ago. So
So
it's
Sydney, for
it's it's.
reference, for people who Sydney is married. I am single. I'm
Mm.
I'm 48. You are
I'm 51.
51, right?
Yeah,
So we're only going to dispense what we would do if we were single,
yeah.
or if what I how if I'm interested, how
How
I
we
go
did
about it.
it back in the day.
Yeah. So for reference, to give some people some perspective, you and this is an area that you and I agree on massively. Is that
Yeah,
we think we were luckier because
yeah,
back when you and I were young lions trying to make our way in the world, you had to go to discos, you had to go to clubs, you had to go out and about at night, and
yeah.
you'd have
You
your
have to go
mates
to
with you.
church. You have to
Yeah, yeah.
go
You
to.
went to
Oh yeah,
church, right?
yeah.
And you had your friends with you, your male friends, and you try and show off a
You're
bit.
the wingman.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you show off a bit, and you try and demonstrate to the opposite
Yeah,
sex why you're worth the effort and time.
yeah, yeah,
All right, and you've got there's always a little bit of showmanship. There's
yeah,
always you're just trying to get attention. You're trying to garner
yeah, yeah,
the whole look at me,
yeah, yeah,
right? Do you notice me? Don't
yeah,
you notice me? And if you don't notice me, let me try and get your attention
yeah.
even more, right? But one of the things that we had to just get over was rejection.
Yes.
And you just had to, at some point, after you've tried a bit of flirting,
Yeah,
tried getting someone's attention, you just had to walk over there in front of all of your mates and say, hey, I like you. I want your attention. Are we going to go out or what? Are we going to do something? And sometimes you, you just got embarrassed in front of everyone when somebody just looked at you was
yeah,
like, I wouldn't touch you with a barge pole.
yeah, yeah,
And you just had
yeah.
to swallow that pride and move on to the next
Accept
one.
it and move. Yeah.
And I guess that's it, guys. You just got to get out there and learn to date. Learn to be told
And,
no.
and the thing is, you cannot be, or whoever, whatever people have told you or whatever it is, not every person, every female out there would appreciate you. No, it's not gonna be like that. So
Never.
people, you're gonna get, I was just thinking about this when after we spoke the other day. So it's like, when especially most young people, they get their first jobs working in shops and that kind of stuff. And they go over to a gentleman or a female or a lady in the shop. Say, can I help you? Comes in, can I help? And they tell, no, 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 I'm all right. It's not gonna stop them to ask the next person who's going to come in the shop, can I help you? You'll be asking the whole day, you'll be asking people, can I help you?
Yeah.
And only 5 out of the 50 that is coming has said yes. And, and it's the same situation because you have to approach people and talk to people. And even if you don't want to date them, you just want to have friendship, you have to talk to people. Because when you talk to people, and then you can share ideas, you can share opinions, whatever it is, and then these people will also make their judgment. Is this the person I like to be in company of? Or is this the, and this is, or this, definitely this is not the person I want to be company of. Maybe for these 2 seconds, yeah, that's your 2 seconds done. Say, can you move on, please? I've got some waiting for somebody. And you just need to accept that and move on. And it helps even later in life. You don't become bitter with women. You
Yes.
don't become bitter with them because you understand. You will understand what no means later in life. You understand what consent means. It's this is because you are dealing this. You are having this conversation with people. And you are being told you can read the faces, people's faces that I am talking, but they have moved on. Exactly. So
Yeah.
this guy, this is how you have to learn. You have to go out there because I know there are dating sites out there. I don't know how they work and no interest in how they work. I remember in my last job years ago, there are people, scammers who use this dating
Yeah.
website and who scam people who pretend to be someone else. You know what? Because why? How they can do it? Because you can't see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they pretend. But if you go have conversation and see them, check and balances, then
Well,
you've
this
got
is the
a
thing because
better
look,
chance of having a relationship with a decent human being
well, because
than
one of the things that kind of worries me is the wrong word, but is I listen to young men now, and I listen to them on social media and stuff like that, and it's always been the way. Even when you and I were growing up, there was always some bloke who was just good looking. There was another guy who was just naturally tall and had the muscles.
yeah.
There was another guy. His
There's
parents,
always a guy better than you
yeah, there were
in
the
everything.
guy that had parents who was rich, right?
Mm.
And one of the things they would do is, there was always some guys that had a string of women. But sometimes when you spoke to these women afterwards, the guy was as dull as dishwater. So
Yeah,
appeared to have it all, but couldn't make them laugh. Had all the money, but couldn't have a conversation.
yeah,
Was just relied on one element of their life,
yeah,
and the women got bored of that very quickly.
yeah.
And one of the things, and I've tried this a little bit myself. I've seen other people much more successful at it than I ever was, right? But that's only because I didn't play the numbers the way they did. And that's literally just, and I do this now. If there's somebody that I like, or I see somebody and I want to get to know them, I just walk up, give them my phone number, say, hey,
Mm.
I just literally, sometimes I'm honest about it, sometimes I'm lying, but I don't have time, right? I'm not trying to disturb you. I'm busy right now, but I'd like to come and talk to you. Can we go out for coffee sometime? Here's my number. My name is David.
Yeah,
And then I just
yeah, yeah,
walk away. I don't
yeah,
even worry about rejection. I just
yeah,
walk away from it because, like you're saying, some girls will just like the fact you were confident enough to do it
yeah.
because that's the biggest attraction for a larger majority of women. Do you have the balls to come up and ask me to start with? And if they don't like that, you never had a chance with them anyway. But what you've got to get
Yeah.
used to is just like you said, just talking. And it just starts. Look, next time you're in a coffee shop, and it doesn't matter whether it's an elderly lady, a young lady, doesn't matter what size, shape, anything, just,
Have
I
conversation
can't,
with people.
yeah, just say, Jesus, I can't decide. Should I have the same drink that I always have, or should I actually do something different? And then just glance at them. Do you have that problem?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
But
It's
this
just
is
a
this.
simple
But this is
context.
all. This is all about networking with people. Getting to know people. This
It's
is
networking.
yeah, yeah. Networking with people it's always something very positive because you get to know different people. And every person is useful in one way or the other. There's a reason why they're on this planet.
Yeah, no, it's
And
true.
it's as a man of faith, as a Christian, there's a reason why God put you on the planet. And for that reason, you need to do good to other people. And so in those conversations, I've been in places where I just said the conversation, somebody gave word of encouragement, and somebody says to me, "You know what? That's the nicest thing I've heard all week. Actually been down with this," and they start having conversation with you, things that are affecting them. You just have that proper quality conversation. Sometimes you don't even exchange details, but
No, you
that
don't.
person you left them with a smile on their face. That's good. How is
Sometimes,
that gonna be bad?
sometimes all you've got to do as a guy is just get comfortable having random conversations with strangers
Yes.
and get comfortable having random conversations with girls, right?
Yeah.
Just for no other
If
reason
yeah,
than
if
just practice talking to women. And
yeah,
the thing that they try to force conversations. I've seen young guys do it when I coach young guys sometimes, and I see them, and I've been with them. Like especially when I used to work with a lot of younger adult male adults, and they're like, "Oh," and it's just like, no, just next time you, like I said, in a coffee shop, next time you're in a shop buying something, just have a random conversation, even if it's with a checkout girl,
yeah.
right? But keep it short and sweet. You're just trying to have a quick
Be
conversation.
positive, be complimentary.
Yeah,
Don't be rude.
yeah. But just
Never
like I
be
said,
rude.
if you're in that coffee shop, just just say
Yeah.
randomly to
Uh,
the
uh,
person, "Oh, I keep thinking I need to change what drink I have,
yes.
but I I'm always picking coffee.
Yeah.
Should I? I think maybe I should try
Is
something
there
different."
anything you can suggest I can try?
Exactly.
Yeah. And sometimes you catch people on the wrong side, never bite back.
No, yeah, just
Yeah.
yeah,
If they
exactly.
tell you to get out of their space, that's exactly what you do. And you move
Yeah,
on. Don't
yeah,
even make second thoughts about it. Don't
yeah,
let it get to you because it's nothing personal.
yeah. And don't and like I said, when somebody does, like somebody suggests you try a chai latte or something or a hot chocolate, say, yeah, I'll do that, thank you, and then
Hmm.
stop talking to them. Don't try and drag out a conversation with them. See how they
Hmm.
respond. If they go silent, leave it be. If they want to carry the conversation on, they will start talking to you.
Exactly, exactly. And there people are polite enough to let you know their feelings.
Exactly. And
Either way, yeah.
and from that you just grow confidence in random conversation.
Yes.
And
And
from
then,
that you just then start asking for, just like I said, don't ask for phone numbers, just give them yours.
yeah.
Because
And for young males, it also helps you to have positive conversations with people.
yeah.
It also helps you even as you grow in business or in profession, and you will be able to have conversations with people.
And also the other thing as well that I think young men especially misunderstand, right? The reason you don't want to ask them for their number is because you're putting them on the spot. And you
Yeah,
always get into that, I'll just check, I'll just ring it to make sure it's your number. Don't do any of that, right?
yeah,
Give them your phone number
yeah,
and just leave it at that. If they are interested, they're going to ring you. They're going to
yeah,
text you. If they say, "Oh, follow me on Instagram," no, no, none of that. And just say, "No, I don't do that. If you're
yeah,
interested, here's my number,
yeah.
and you
Give me,
and if you're
let's talk.
interested, you'll give me a ring, or
Yeah,
you'll send me a text message, and we'll arrange to go for a drink somewhere."
yeah,
Right? And just leave it at that, because if they like you, they will follow it up. If they don't, they will reject you anyway. So don't
yeah,
worry about it. Move on to the next one.
yeah. Until you get the right one. When you get the right one, stop. Then just have conversation with positive conversation with people. Don't get into the habit of that. Right, I've got one. I'll carry on doing this because that will create disaster for you. So when you get the right one, the one that gives you the correct vibes, you stop there, you invest there. But continue talking to people.